Very
But
much
getting
so.
into his real first film that I would say like my brain goes to when I think of what is his first film that he actually had control over, and that is Seven from 1995,
That's
starring Brad
nuts
Pitt
that is
and
his
Morgan
second.
Freeman.
That is nuts that is his second.
What a step up it is. And you can tell that he had control. I mean, I think this is like publicly known that he's pretty meticulous. He's a control freak.
Yeah.
Let's just say it like it is. And so I think him being super involved in the process is definitely crucial for him. And so you could tell the difference between that and this, as far as his involvement in it. So what are your initial thoughts on Seven, Harry?
I adore Seven. I like it every time more every time I watch it. That like just the it's because you know the ending, and by the way, the ending is one of the greatest endings of all time. But
Yeah.
you kind of piece more clues together as you continually to watch it. There's just more to pick up on. I think Brad Pitt is severely underrated here. Like
Yeah.
everyone agrees he's great here, but when we're talking about his best roles, no one really mentions Seven. And I really think they should. He's fucking awesome in this. Kevin Spacey,
Yeah.
piece of shit in a person, but he's great in this film. Don't get me wrong. Like he's very much a
Yeah.
villain here, as he is in real
Oh, he
life.
plays it well, a little too well.
Yeah,
Honestly, he's pretty
yeah,
terrifying in this role.
yeah. I feel like people should have taken some fucking notes. And yeah, probably shouldn't go that way. But I adore this movie. I love a good detective story, and I think this is one of the
Yeah.
best thrillers of all time. The whole idea to go towards like that the seven sins, the religious aspect, and
Hmm.
kind of uncover that just through representation and metaphors and symbol, I think is fucking awesome, and it's just really creepy. This whole the I was watching it. I don't remember when I started, like 2 weeks ago, I think, when I started doing the rewatch. Um, it just felt super suffocating the entire film, and I think that's
Hmm.
really to do with the cinematography. That everywhere you go is damp, everywhere and moist, and just gross to be around. And I think that really was done like on purpose by Fincher. As you said, he's very meticulous. He's one of those guys that takes like 200 takes for a scene, just to make sure he gets it correct.
Yeah, it's so gritty, and I think the way that the settings are done and like the cinematography, like you said, make it where you almost feel like you're kind of immersed into it, even though it's not a place you want to be immersed into. It does help absorb up like the story as it's going. And I feel like because of that, the pacing works really well. Not that I've ever seen people complain about the pacing necessarily, but I feel like in detective or thriller style movies, that's always one thing that can keep people from loving it or not is like the pacing. And I think with this one, it's such a natural progression that happens to where I don't feel like that's really a complaint you could have with it, which I think helps make it such a great thriller. I think this was the second Fincher movie I ever saw if I remember correctly. The first one being Fight Club, and clearly it started my obsession with Brad Pitt. He's one of my favorite actors of all time, and
Nice.
he's killer here. I mean, he's just so naturally good at playing this type of role.
Yeah, he's awesome. All like no one's talking about the relationship with Fincher and Brad Pitt because they've done a bunch together now. They've done what, three? They did Benjamin Button Fight Club 7. That's right, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. They love each
Yep.
other. They understand each other. I agree. I think Brad Pitt's a severely underrated actor. He's entertaining as all hell. Like, but yeah, this era of Brad Pitt is probably my favorite era of Brad
Yeah.
Pitt, next to this
90s.
new modern fun era that he's just like he's got his money, he's got his legacy, he's just having fun now. But yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Movie's so good. The
Yeah,
ending,
the ending. Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen people complain that like, on rewatch this doesn't hold up as well because you know the ending, but I disagree. I think that like you said, is the more you've seen it, the more you can kind of piece together little hints and clues along the way that kind of make it clear where the ending's gonna go, but that doesn't necessarily take away from it. Of course, it's the most shocking the first time you see it, but I don't think that that necessarily makes rewatches like less effective, in my opinion. I think the performances are so good that I'm very like captivated by the whole movie, even on multiple rewatches. I think I've seen it like 4 times now, and I still love it every single time.
yeah, it's so good. What's in the box? What a line!
What's in
Oh,
the
what's in the
box?
box?
The box.
Her pretty little head. Great fucking
Oh
movie.
God, yeah, Kevin Spacey, please just yeah, he's. We don't want to talk anymore about him, but that role I think definitely. he killed what they were trying to accomplish there. Let's
Yeah,
just say that.
this is definitely an area where we got to separate the art from the artist, and
Yeah.
really just be like, that was fucking well done. Go away. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
for
if people
sure.
want to get into that argument, then let's you have to take away what all of Polanski, all of Kubrick's filmography. There's a lot of shitty people out there that have
Yeah,
made a lot of great art. Usually the worst kind of people make some of the best art,
yeah.
unfortunately. So,
Nicolas Cage. Yeah,
um yeah.
yeah,
So,
for
yes,
sure.
Seven is definitely up there for me as far as, one of the first ones I saw from Fincher and definitely helped kind of get me into his films, I feel like. So I'm definitely a big fan of that gritty style, and I think that really showcased what he was going to be able to do. Like,
Yeah.
if you really think about like the rest of his films, like that one really set the tone, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. But it it had a moment for him to be kind of typecast as a director, to do these like always these gritty, dirty, gross films that like are
Hmm.
are like super close to reality. Which we'll go through other ones that he completely doesn't do that, which is awesome. Like he could have very
Yeah.
much kept doing movies like Seven, like Fight Club, like Gone Girl, like Zodiac, whatever. But and he would have still been known as one of the greatest to ever do it. But the fact that
Hmm.
he still has these other films that we'll go through, Social Network, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, others, like it goes to show how good he is. But he could have very much
Hmm.
typecast himself because, as you said, like this was the first film that he did that you could tell he had creative control, and yeah, he could have taken that and run, but he didn't.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. So I think probably most people listening have seen this film, but if not, we won't actually spoil the ending for sure. But it's definitely a movie that everyone should see. And I definitely can't speak highly enough about it. So, any other last minute thoughts on Seven?
Seven's good.
It's good, bro. Check it out. It's definitely a essential film, bro movie.
It is. Yeah, Fincher knows how to make a film bro movie. He
Oh
definitely
yeah,
does.
definitely.